What's up, everybody? Just a quick bullet. Just a quick disclaimer, whatever you want to call it. My video the video you're just about to watch, I'm not a professional. This is my first time I've ever actually replaced thermal paste before. I haven't ever done much work on computers, so do not go by what I am doing. I just did it as this is my first time, and I wanted to upload it. If you're looking at getting information on how to do it, go to like Linus Tech Tips or Jay's 2 Cents or I can't. But yeah, even just them two, they've got plenty of videos on the matter. So don't go by what I did, because I made as you've seen in the video, I made lots of mistakes. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly say that beforehand, that I've never done it. I'm learning still. It was a good experience because I learned a few different things. So yeah, hope you enjoy. What is up, everybody? It's your boy here. Doink. That's probably a bit low, but today I've got something a bit different for you. This computer has not been taken apart in a very long time. It is, I mean, not a very long time. I do maintain it. I do blow it out. She's a bit of an oldie. I built this when I finished year 12. So, sorry, I didn't build it. My mate, that was before I knew anything about computers, and I got my mate to build it. I would say 4, 5, 7 years ago, and I was only thinking the other day, the thermal paste never been replaced on it. So that thermal paste in there is 7 years old. So I'm about to find out what it was like. I think I had my GoPro mount wrong. Oh no. But yeah, I'm about to find out how well it's held up. So this will be very interesting. So I hope you enjoy. All right, so I hope this will be good enough. I might just keep this over here, just because so I can look at it every now and then, just to make sure it's good enough for you. Maybe. I know this isn't exactly the best setup to be cleaning a computer on, but I don't exactly have anywhere else to go at the moment. Unfortunately, the kitchen table inside is taken up. People are inside, they're talking and everything, so I've just got to deal with it here. So it's not going to be the most professional video in the world, but you know, I just want to try. As you can see, I'm planning on giving it a good clean. You can see all the dust. It's filthy. So first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to pull it apart. Sorry, I'm going to take the CPU cooler off, and then we'll just go from there. So I haven't actually pulled this apart too many times. I believe it's relatively easy. Well, that's a really good start, isn't it? Wow. Well then. Oh God. Oh, I guess I'll just have to do it like that then. Oh yeah, she is a bit dusty. I might just have to stick this. I do not have much room, and that's my biggest problem here. And I know it's not great. I do have a iFixit kit coming, but unfortunately I'm just going to have to use a normal magnetic screwdriver. I thought it was going to be here by now, but I've been waiting too long, and yeah, I can't remember the specs on this thing, but she's an old girl. She is an old girl. So I believe it's a 750 Ti. I believe GTX 750 Ti, 2GB. So, you know, they're still, to this day, they're still a really good graphics card for what they are. 16 gig Corsair Vengeance. What's this? Arctic Cooler. Z970 Mobo. I can't remember what the God, I cannot even think at the moment. I'm really tired and I'm a bit hungover, so I probably shouldn't be doing it, but you know what? She'll be right. So, well, all I can do is sort of get started. Well, that's a really good start, isn't it? Not. Alright. Oh yeah. Let's do this schnitzel. Feel that, I was going to say I can feel it's on something, it's just the legs. I actually really like this case. It's a really well thought out case. It's got really good airflow. You can see how filthy that is. I might even pull that apart. I'm not sure yet, but I'll probably be walking from side to side because it's easier than to reach over. So before I do anything, I've got to try and where is this fan cable? Actually, it might be easier. No, okay. I'm gonna say as well, don't go by what I'm doing. This is the first time I've ever replaced thermal paste because I'm very new. I'm learning. You know, I'm learning. So you know, and I just thought I'd take you along for the ride. So that's good. Jeez, I know you meant to undo these, and I can't even see if that's undoing. Oh yeah, yep. That's really awkward. Unless does this come off here? Let me just try this. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Ah, okay. Well, that makes it a tad easier, doesn't it? So I don't even have to really pull that out. Oh, but I might give it a clean anyway. No. As I said, I'm new. Don't go by what I'm doing because this is all really, really new to me. So, you know, you're learning probably more than what I am because it's, yeah, just very new to me. So I've wanted to do this for a long time just to see what it's like. I imagine it's not going to be pretty at all. So when I got this built, this PC, it was actually quite a good PC back in the day, back when this got built. So what are we going on, about 7 years? So it's a fair few generations old. I'm not quite sure how this comes out. I'm just going to keep, because it feels like the screws are, thought the screws felt like they were out already, but oh, well, that one definitely is now, isn't it? Okay, well, I guess they're not quite out yet. Well then. Okay, so I got to remember it's got to go on the inner screws, not the outer. There we go. Okay, God, people that have done all this before. Oh, well, okay, so that right there is a lot more thermal paste than what you need. If you can see that there, that is a lot of thermal paste, a lot. And you can see how patchy it is. So that, surprisingly, is still actually quite wet after many years. So, but that is way too much thermal paste. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the cooler first. I've got to remember how that goes on. Like that. So I've got to remember this here, this line goes this way towards the back. First thing I'm going to do is clean this. Just put that there. I'm trying to get some paper towel. And I'm just going to wipe this down. That is a lot of thermal paste. Holy crap. And it's still extremely sticky. So that is really surprising, actually. Unless... Now, I'm positive this hasn't been done, but unless, because my parents bought this off of me and they got a, I'll put that straight in the bin, actually, be organised. Unless when they got, because I upgraded the SSD on it, or they got it upgraded, that was before I knew anything about what I was doing, and I still don't actually know much, really, but that's quite surprising, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be really bad, and I'm meant to be barefoot right now because then, you know, I can't static shock it, whatever it's called. So yeah, I'll just give this a clean. So as you can see here, I've cleaned off the majority of it. Got to keep it in the, oh wow. I'm sorry if you can't see the majority. This is the first time I've done this, so what I'm just going to do now is I'm going to get a little bit of this isopropyl alcohol. I can never say it right, but take the lid off because I ain't going to spray it, so the lid doesn't need to be on. And I'm just going to dip this in here and just make sure there's not, I mean, it's not too bad because it's on here, but you just want to make sure it's not dripping. And I'm just going to give this a bit of a rub, so then it just tries to get the majority of what's on there off. And then I just want to get it as clean as possible for the new thermal paste I'm using. So, as you can see, that's as clean as what I can get it. There's a little bit left in there, but I'm not too fussed about that. That's perfectly fine, so I'm just going to leave that. Now, when it comes to that, I don't know if you can see it probably because there's not great lighting. That's way too much. That is like, that's lucky it didn't go any further, really, but that's way too much. You do not need that much on there. And, you know, even though this is sort of my first time doing it, I've done lots of research, and I know that that's too much. And, you know, too much doesn't hurt, but when it starts to go over like that, it can go onto, you know, it can fall into, oh, Rona. It can fall, work its way in behind and get into the pins, or it can just get everywhere, and then it makes it really, really hard to clean and work with because it's sticky crap. So I'm really surprised at that. Like, I did ask, and no, it hasn't been done. So this is, it must have used really good thermal paste or something, because I thought 6 years. I mean, saying that, this computer does not get worked. So the most this computer does is go on Google, go on Chrome. Oh, that's really hard to clean, and watch Netflix. So it's not like this computer gets stressed at all. Because I was actually going to test the temperatures before and after I've replaced the thermal paste, but I didn't worry about it because I was like, well, I don't know, I just didn't worry about it. And by the looks of it, the temperature is not going to be different, because that was more than enough. And as you can see right there, you know, I might have to, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to unclip this, unclip that, because I'm going to have to take this out. And God, I hate. So yeah, and just clean that, because I can't get to it. Oh, hang on. No point of wasting paper, because it's going everywhere. So yeah, don't use too much, because then when you eventually want to replace it, I've read that apparently they say to do it once a year. But I mean, going by this, it looks like you can go a hell of a lot longer than a year and it'll be perfectly fine. Maybe if you were gaming, because this was my first gaming rig, but I barely used it because I was mainly only playing Armour back then, and back then that CPU was not enough to run Armour, like nowhere near enough. It just, even today, I mean, it's not a very well optimized game, so even to today's standards, you know, Armour's still a hard game to run, but it's only a hard game to run because it's not very well optimized. Now, as I said before, I'm just going to get this out, and I'm just going to dab it. Mature. Dab it on here, just so I can get all in these sides here, and, you know, finish it up, and then I'll stop talking crap, and then we can go from there. So as you can see here, I've actually taken this out, and the only reason I've taken it out was because you can see it's got all in these corners here, and I couldn't get it in there. Usually, I try not to touch the CPU as much as possible. I say usually, but that's a lie, because I haven't really done much. Just from what I've read, you know, you try to touch the CPU as least amount as possible, and because this is Intel, so the pins, you can see all them pins there. they're on the motherboard, whereas your AMD, your pins are actually on your CPU, so you have got to be just super careful when it comes to the CPU. Just treat it like it's a goddamn baby, because you know, you do not want to hurt it, and you want to put the least amount of stress on all your equipment. And you know, I try to touch the majority of my equipment as least amount as possible. So, and I know I'm not a professional, never claimed to be. As I said, I'm learning. This is my first baby steps. I'd actually quite enjoy it, because I don't know, it's actually kind of satisfying. Oh, stinks. Know that. Kind of smells good. I'm breathing it in, so no, it doesn't. It's a lie. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So shit. Sorry. As you can see, that is quite clean, and this is actually a i5 4690K. It's still a good CPU, you know, a very good starter CPU. And now with these ones, I'm not sure, like with the new ones, it might be different. I know with AMD it's different, but I don't know if you can see here. I can't really show you, but there's two cutouts on the either side, here and here, and there's two like bits here and here that this lines up on. So that's where you know to put your CPU. And you should never use force. Should just plop in, give it a wiggle, and it's all good. So all I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to take this fan out. I'm going to use, well, I should have enough. I'm going to use some of that. I'm just going to try and scrape some of this dirt off, just so it's nice and clean. Really easy. You can't really see. I say really easy, but it's not. I need a torch, but you just got your fan plug in here, and that's, you know, you should just pull her out, and then if you can get your hands in there, which my fat little fingers can't, and just plop that out, and I am going to clean that. Okay, so as you can see here, it's better. There isn't a huge build up or anything now. I just wanted to get the thick dust off it. It isn't clean, but this sits in the corner, so it really doesn't faze me at all, and it doesn't faze mum and dad. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a clean up. So I'm just going to wrap this back around how it was. I think it came back and then through itself, maybe. Not that I can see, and I'm sure you can't either. There we go. So I'm just going to sit that aside. Now we've got the fun bit, the bit that I've never done. Again, I'm sorry for the lighting. I'll turn on a light. I can try, but I'm worried it'll flicker. That should be fine. Should make it a little bit easy for you to see. So the fun bit now. I have never done this, so if I do it wrong, I apologise. But this is your little spreader. So I'm gonna try to spread it across, because sometimes you can actually just, you can either do an X. I think you can on these, they prefer just a pea-sized dot in the middle, and then you can usually just put your cooler straight on, and it's perfectly fine. But I'm actually gonna probably just put a dot in the middle, and then I'll just spread it across with this, just because I've never actually done that. So I guess we'll see how that goes. So this is it. I've never done this, so we're going to see how it goes. Oh, that's harder to push than what I thought. I'll just try not to screw it up. Whoa. That came out quicker than what I thought, so that's plenty. I hope that actually, crap. That might be too much. That was an accident. I thought it was going to be really, really hard to get out of there, but that was actually really easy. So hopefully that isn't too much. And now I'm going to try this, which is actually harder than what I thought as well. God, I'm hopeless at this. Don't take tech tips. Go to Linus Tech Tips. At least they can talk properly there too. So I'm going to try and just wipe a little bit off because that's too much, and that was my bad. I didn't, you know, it's not going to hurt anything, but I just want to try and do it right. So, as I said, this is my first time, so I'm just going to wipe a little bit off here, which is a shame because that's not cheap. So I'm just going to try and not screw this up, which I've already done, but I'm just going to try and scrape a very, very small amount off the sides. You know, you can see where they're sort of, it's piled up on the edges. I don't want that because when I screw that on, it'll squish out the sides, and that's what I tried to avoid. But I'm not doing a very good job, so yeah, it's going about as good as what my last few things I've tried to do on anything is. God, people are going to watch this and be like, oh my God, don't take tips from this bloke. And you know what? I totally agree. I'm just filming it because you know what? Why the hell not? I'm sure it'll give some people a good laugh. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of people say, she'll be right, but, oh well. So I'm just going to finish cleaning this up and then we should be all good. I think actually that, I don't really want to scrape any more off. So I think next time I might just do the old X technique, which is where you put an X on and just put my cooler on, because at least I don't waste it like what I did there. Because, you know, it's not cheap stuff, so. But I'm happy with that now. So I did, unfortunately, waste a little bit, but I would much prefer to waste a little bit than have it overflowing. I still personally think that's too much on there. That's my bad. Again, I'm really new to this, so. But you know what? It's all good. It's not going to hurt it. It's not going to affect it, so. It's no big deal if you accidentally put too much on there from what I've read, and gee, that's going to be fun. I cannot even see it. So, I'm going to try and get this in, which is actually going to be harder than what I thought. So, I didn't realise, dumb guy me, it was sitting here trying to screw these into these holes, and this back plate came off. So that wasn't going to go anywhere because you know what? You need nuts to screw into. So again, I apologise. I am a fat noob at this. So I'm guessing I've actually got to do it standing up because I'm not quite sure if I lean it over, if that's actually going to stay there. Now so there's meant to be, it's meant to stick onto it. Okay. And the sticky bits just aren't working. That makes sense. Just give me 1 second. So what I've done is I was like, oh, I could glue it. Then I'm like, no, I don't want to. So all I've done is I've rolled up a bit of normal sticky tape, and so it's just double-sided now, because all it needs to do is just hold it until I can get one screw on, and then from there on it'll be perfectly fine. But that should be, as long as I line it up first, that should, yeah, so that will work now. So that was my fault. That was just me being a dumbass and not knowing that that's what I had to do. So as long as I'm gentle, it should, there we go, be perfectly fine now. Because I was sitting there, I was like, what is going on? Why is that not going in? Oh, should I? I was going to blow this out, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it, because I actually think I blew this out not that long ago when it was all together. So, but I'm going to blow it out after I get this on anyway. I just don't like creating dust around anything when the CPU is exposed. So, you know, there's you can see that's clean. So, you know, it's a little bit dirty on the sides, but I'll get to that after I've got it on. So now this should be a bit more successful this time. Oh, I'm such a dumbass. So this should work now. God, I when I was sitting there, I'm like, nah, this isn't right. There is nowhere for it to screw into. So I flipped it over, and as soon as I took the back plate off, it just fell off, and I was like, oh, well. So that, I don't think has worked on that side. So I have to be so careful. I could glue it because this will never be coming off of here, but I only need it to grab slightly like I think it has. Or I'll just slightly lift it up and I'll just put a little bit of pressure on this back plate. But I just need it to grab just the first thread. This is actually really awkward. There we go. Oh. Okay, I'm really bad at this. So that should hold it now. Oh God, didn't get any thermal paste anywhere. Phew, because it didn't move very far. So that was actually really awkward. So really, I probably should have just used 2 bits of sticky tape on either side. But I've got it, so it doesn't matter. She'll be right. Oh, now that I've got it, thank God. I was sitting there, I was like, am I going nuts or something? Because this is not screwing up. Lo and behold, I wasn't going nuts for once. So, yeah, that was a bit of a, yeah, it was my fault though. I mean, yeah, I didn't realise that the back plate, obviously, yeah. Oh, come on. I wish I had my iFixit kit. All right, I'm going to stop talking so I can shorten this video a bit. I've got it on there now. Now, what I have read that you're meant to do is you're meant to go on a crisscross pattern whilst tightening it down. And, you know, it doesn't need to be very tight at all. So it just needs to be virtually pinched. So I'm just going to go on a bit of a sort of crisscrossy square pattern. So then I can just tighten this down nice and evenly. That should be just about it, because I think that's all this computer needs. I'm not putting anything else in there. There's no point of putting another RAM or anything in there because, as I said, it's virtually just a Netflix rig now. Just my mum, just my parents' computer, so it doesn't need to be anything. So yep, that's pinched now. I can feel that that's pinched, because you don't need much pressure on this. And that is pretty damn good to me. I'll just do it one last time, just because I just like to be sure. To me, when I took it off, it felt really, really loose. So like, I could have, you know, done them with my fingers, and I don't like that because, you know, that the CPU needs to, the CPU cooler needs to have pressure on it. You know, because if it hasn't got pressure, then it won't be able to cool your CPU down properly. So Perla, God, that was harder than what it should have been. So I'm just going to give it a quick blowout now. I'll leave this off so I can get all in here, give it a blowout, and then theoretically that should be all good to go. So let's do this. It's not at full pressure yet, but I can't be bothered waiting. I've already spent more time than what I thought, so I'm just going to blow it out with compressed air. You don't really have to be careful because you're not going to do much damage with compressed air to computer parts, as long as you don't go, you know, oh, and like poke it in and blow it as hard as you can. You know, you're not really going to hurt them with compressed air. So give this a blow down. So usually you'd try and either take the front off or blow it out so it comes this way first, so it doesn't blow the dust back in your computer, but I can't get to it, and I'm not willing to spend, you know, I don't really want to take all this front off and everything, just because there's no need for it. You know, it doesn't do much work, so she'll be right. I'm just wiping down the back of the CPU cooler here just to get any bulk dust that's just stuck on the fins. Oh, technically that's the front, I think. Yeah, because that's where it sucks in air from, so. But I'm happy with that, so we are all good. All right, so all I'm going to do now is definitely not forget this, because then the computer will definitely overheat. And then if I'm right, this should just clip on nice and easy without getting that in the weight. I do not have enough dexterity to be doing this, so I might put it a little bit lower this time than what it was. That's probably a little bit too low. I want to try and line it up with the top here. So about there should be good. So, according to my calculations, that should be all good. I want to go and give it a test. I'm just going to make sure, but I believe that should be perfectly fine because everything's plugged in, it's all back into place, and I believe it'll be perfect. If not, I'm sure yous will know, but I believe it's going to be perfectly fine. So yeah, that's me. So that's me kind of failing. That was the first time ever doing that. It was an experience. It was actually harder and a lot more time consuming than what I thought it was going to be. This might be a bit of a longer video than normal. Hopefully I'll be able to edit this and get this uploaded today. If not, I might have to, for my first time, pre-film a video for my daily upload, but hopefully I shouldn't. Hopefully I shouldn't. So I'm going to put this back together, put the sides on. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to holding the camera. Put the sides on. And then I believe should be all good. Off the top of my head, yeah, yep. That should be perfectly fine. So, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you're going to have a good day. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. One last thing, just make sure you don't go off of what I'm doing here. I'm a noob. I don't really know what I'm doing yet. I'm learning, and I'm gonna film me learning, because why the hell not? People can laugh at me all they want. I don't care. At least I'm trying. See you tomorrow.